I met up with an old friend the other day, and I couldn't believe what he has gone through since the last time we talked. He was with his girl for over 3 years, and at first, they seemed like every other couple. No strikingly telling red flags or anything. It seemed like it started off right. I never knew the girl he was with, but she didn't appear to be crazy. No crazy colored hair, no tattoos, just your average white girl basically. He told me they were living together with another roommate to fork rent. They both had decent jobs, but nothing extraordinary. Typical living standards of kids just getting out of college. He went on to tell me how this girl had a personality disorder and bipolar depression. In the midst of arguments, she would literally turn into a completely different person with a foreign accent. Kinda nuts, to be honest. The way he described it, it almost sounded demonic. She became aware of her condition and eventually wanted to do something about it, so she turned to mind-altering prescribed drugs. This is when everything went south, as although her psychological disorders were tamed, she actually became hooked on what she was prescribed, which in the end turned out to be a whole new problem. He was telling me how she was always talking about wanting kids with him, but he felt he probably shouldn't. Thank the Lord above he had some common sense. What it sounded like to me was she was trying to trap him because she was comfortable with him and could provide for her financially. He wouldn't give her a baby so slowly, but surely she began to trash him and treat him like absolute garbage. This is where I think my friend went wrong, because he took it all. He let her treat him that way, probably due to insecurity. She was the type of girl to flirt with her work boyfriends, and he knew about it too. Meanwhile, she was now hooked on these drugs and would go out partying without him because he wanted no part in what she was doing. Meanwhile, she was going behind his back sleeping with one of her work boyfriends. It makes sense, and I have no idea how he didn't find her going out without him all the time to be a bit suspect. Basically then, they split up. Although a bit tragic, this is fairly common when you sleep with crazy, and why you shouldn't. I think it's the suckers that pity these types of girls that end up getting played in the long run, because they feel as though they may be able to save her. Let's get this straight, fellas. You cannot save a girl that doesn't want to be saved. The only person that can is herself. So, if you ever find yourself in this situation, lay down your sword and shining white knight armor, because you have already lost a battle. Another thing I want to touch on is the fact she was basically pressuring him into having kids. I physically applauded my friend for not falling for this one, because I feel his life would be so different right now. Imagine in the midst of her cheating on him, they had a kid together. Now he would be stuck with the burden of having to see her all the time because they have a kid together. She would more than likely always be nagging him for money to feed her pill addiction more than it would their kid. He would be absolutely doomed. But that's how these women will get you. Either they bat their pretty little eyes in hopes you put a ring on their finger, or they spread their legs extra wide for you in hopes of planting a kid in them. If you're going to do any of the two, make sure she is worthy of the ring in the first place, and make sure you're not looking through the lenses of rose-tinted glasses. But the absolute first red flag he should have seen was the mental disorders. They say every woman is a little crazy, but there's a clear distinction between jealousy-related crazy and sounding like a completely different person in the heat of an argument. Actual crazy women are unpredictable, and this is why they are dangerous. They will go the extra mile to get what they want, be it drugs, a baby, money, attention, or sleeping with someone else. Not only that, but it seems nearly impossible for women like this to have the ability to reason. Everything is your fault, and in reality, they are only projecting their fault onto you. Life really doesn't have to be difficult, yet crazy women find a way to up the chaos in your life tenfold. I'm sure there are way more drastic stories than this out there when it comes to crazy women, but they will surely destroy your life. It's true that these women are more often than not good lays, but you have to have enough self-control to draw the line there and not get involved further. Anyways, I hope you learn to stay away from crazy women, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment on any experience you may have with a crazy woman. Thank you for watching as always, and stay hungry, noble men.